seem to be poised for change, but will our hopes be fulfilled? What are the conditions that support the structural changes that matter for them to come about? These are the questions that are hanging in the air.
I think it's very easy to feel overwhelmed by the scale of challenges that we confront and the seeming impossible difficulty of supporting and creating fundamental cultural shifts, transformational changes in how we relate to one another in the natural world.
Part of what I do with the transition movement is I spend a lot of time visiting transition groups in many, many different places. And every time I go and visit groups, I always hear the same thing. People say, well, we're doing lots of things, but they're a bit small and maybe they're not enough. And the thing that I would say is you have no idea where the tipping point is in your project. You have no idea who will see that project and who will be inspired by it and where it will spread to.
Hello, my name's Gerard and I'm a student at the Centre for Alternative Technology. I and another student at CAT, Hannah, started the Transformation Prize. The idea is to help students and alumni take the brilliant things we've been learning out into the real world, while recognising that looking after the planet and looking after each other go hand in hand.
My name's Bethan. I'm lead volunteer for Greengrass Sheffield, which stands for Growing for Refugee and Asylum Seeker Support.
I'm Luke. I'm a student at CAT and a member of Aberdale Street Trees.
Hello everyone, hello pawb. Fenw i yw Kirsti a dwi'n dod o Machynlleth. My name's Kirsti and I come from Machynlleth, and I'm going to be talking about a project called Dyfi. So this project was actually started at the beginning of lockdown. It was quite spur of the moment.
Aberdale Street Trees hope to transform a 1.2 mile stretch of Aberdale Road. It's one of the most polluted pinch points in Sheffield.
This is a fantastic guy called James Mackay at the University of Leeds, who I always think of as the man who draws the future. This is his picture of a city if we allowed biodiversity to just take over the cities. This is what his idea is of cities if we just grew food absolutely everywhere.
Something which I've been learning on my course at CAT that really struck me was that 50% of our vegetables in the UK are imported and 80% of our fruit. Dyfi in Welsh means grow Dyfi, which is the valley where we live. And I really wanted it to be led by kids, so I persuaded some of my friends' kids to draw loads of amazing pictures, and they came up with loads of ideas.
We are currently at a stage where climate change, if it's anything, is an enormous collective failure of the imagination. And we are faced at this time where we need to reimagine and rebuild and rethink everything. There's this part of your brain called the hippocampus where your imagination and your memory fire from. When you're anxious or stressed, it shrinks by up to 20%. And that can be caused by all kinds of different things. I think we need to be seeing austerity as being a war on the imagination. We need to be looking at systemic racism as being an assault on the imagination.
Refugees and asylum seekers in particular can often be deeply traumatised by the journey that they've made to get here, and also being in an unfamiliar place when they get here as well. Being able to offer a safe space is something that's been really positive for wellbeing. By encouraging people to get involved in changing it, learning about it, and having responsibility for a little bit of it, we promote care for the land that we hope extends beyond the allotment.
Too many of us feel able to take resources from the earth mercilessly without feeling for the breakdown of nature and the death of other living things. And in a world of plenty, we refuse to share with other people, locally and across nations. If we had relationships in which we really care for nature and for people, we would not be able to do this. Many people have come to realize that doing no harm, but doing nothing for change is part of the problem.
So what the idea is that how do we bring alive in the present how the future could be? How do we give people a taste right now of what that future would be like, smell like? And small projects matter just as much as big projects.
if I knew that the world would end tomorrow, I would still plant new apple trees today. And that's kind of the spirit of what this project was about.